we're talking about a very sensitive moment in U.S.-China relations, and Nancy Pelosi is pouring gasoline onto a fire. That's what she's doing. So let me play you the clip of hers, okay? I want to show you what she had to say here because I think it's very telling. And, I would talk more about Somaliland and the comparison between Taiwan. I would do that if I had the time. So that's for another time. I just want to play you this video from this article because, of course, right now, what the corporate media is doing is they're trying to frame China as isolating itself. Somaliland is making China fume. First of all, Somaliland is in Somalia. It's not technically quote unquote independent, although the United States is doing everything it can covertly to spur that. The United States has sent troops there. It is trying to base the fight against so-called Al-Shabaab there. It's really close to Djibouti. It borders Djibouti, which is a country that China has deep relationships with. The China-Africa relations are probably strongest, or some of the strongest China-Africa relationships exist in the Horn, Ethiopia, Eritrea, Djibouti. And the United States desperately wants to break that up and is using Somalia as part of that. So the corporate media is talking all about how China is isolating itself. And the New York Times has done this too, and I'm going to get to that. But let's play. I want you to listen to what Nancy Pelosi had to say. It's actually absolutely ridiculous. It's really hard to understand her. But let's listen to her.
Support this and going to Taiwan was to say that we have this strong relationship built on the status quo, which we support, which is really important because they're saying, well, we're trying to upset. No, the Taiwan Relations Act of 1979, at the same time as our change of recognition, established the terms of our relationship, the 3 U.S.-China joint communiques, and the 6 assurances. So there's no departure from that. But
there's no departure from that. And she cited first, this is political. She doesn't write her own speeches. That was written for her. She doesn't write her own. She's not coached on her own. She didn't come to that press conference without this in mind. She was told that she needs to say it like this. This is very dangerous to cite the 1979 Taiwan Relations Act first. If you don't know what that act is, it is not a document that stipulates the relationship. No. That's not what it is. It didn't involve China. So it's not that says, oh, this is how we define our relationship with China. No. The Taiwan Relations Act is the way that the United States has contradicted its own terms with China through the Shanghai Communique of 72, and then, of course, the second communique in 1979, which was the normalization period. And basically, it says that the United States can continue to pump arms. That's the biggest part of it, pump arms into Taiwan, and that it has the right to keep Taiwan having strategic kind of like independence. That's where this strategic ambiguity comes from. The United States recognizes one China, but it also says that Taiwan has the ability to be independent and that it will keep informal relations and that arms sales are included in this. So Taiwan Relations Act is really about the U.S. military and the military-industrial complex having the ability to give arms to Taiwan's authority, to Taiwan's political authority. So to cite that first is really, I mean, it's a rhetorical violation of the One China Act because she didn't even say in the 1972 Shanghai Communique, which really is the first document that outlines the relationship. She just says the 3 joint communiques, and she doesn't say One China at all.
Keeping with that, we will not allow China to isolate Taiwan. They have kept Taiwan from participating in the World Health Organization, other things where Taiwan can make a very valued contribution.
So China is isolating itself. That's what she's saying. Because it's one China. That's the law. That's international law. That is the U.S.-China bilateral law. Like if you take into account what it means to be normalized, these are rules that govern how you behave with each other. And so to say that China is isolating Taiwan is absolutely ridiculous. The one the one country, two systems model is the loosest in Taiwan, by far the loosest, looser than Macau, looser than Hong Kong. There's no doubt that Taiwan enjoys more political autonomy out of any of its territories than Taiwan. And so what she's really saying here is that she's not going to let Taiwan be isolated as a country. Because who's representing the World Health Organization? Countries, right? It's not, we're not talking about whether Taiwan's organizations, whether informal organizations can contribute. No, talking about official representation. That's what she's talking about. And that's what she wants to prevent China from doing. I mean, this is war talk. This is absolutely ridiculous. This is scare. I mean, this should scare people that she's so flippantly willing to talk like this.
They may keep them from going there, but they're not keeping us from going to Taiwan. We will not allow them to. So we think their reaction, that was our purpose, to salute this thriving democracy. Don't take it from me.
She can't finish a sentence. She can't finish a sentence. She's not finishing her sentences here. What is she saying? She says, oh, we're not going to let them not let us go there. We're not going to let them not let us go to Taiwan. That was our purpose. We're not, like she can't get the words out. Let's listen to that again because she can't seem to speak.
Democracy, don't take it from me. Freedom from going to Taiwan. We will not allow them to. So we think
we will not allow them to
their reaction. That was our purpose.
Their reaction was our purpose, right?
To salute this thriving democracy. Don't take it from me. Freedom House said, one of the freest.
Freedom House, that NED funded right-wing neocon institution. Don't take it from me. Take it from my neocon pals over at Freedom House.
The democracies in the world. Show our respect for that, for the success of their economy, for the enthusiasm of their young people to embrace democracy, and others as well, but the young knowing nothing else except a free Taiwan. So that was our purpose. Their pretext was our visit, for them to do what they normally do, intensified. They didn't do it when the Senate went under Chairman Menendez of the Foreign Relations Committee.
They didn't do it, right, guys? They didn't do it. Like, who is she turning around to? Are you confident? They didn't do it when the Senate Foreign Relations Committee went there. Oh, they didn't do it when Menendez and those guys did it. You know, they didn't. It's just me. It's all about me. They have a problem just with me. It's like, no shit. They have a problem with you, Nancy Pelosi. You're the third in command. The Senate Foreign Relations Committee is not the third in command to the White House. They're not there. If Kamala Harris goes down, after Joe Biden goes down, if those two can't, if they can't go on, right, then it's you who's president, not the Senate Foreign Relations Committee. Like, this is absolutely, I mean, this is how criminal Pelosi is, right? This is just how absolutely disingenuous, absolutely opportunistic she is. She's turning around. She's like, right? Like, don't you know that anything I say is just the right thing? And even if I'm going to start a war, you should just all be with me because of those youth who's for a free Taiwan. I'm not doing anything but supporting separatism and so-called freedom from China. Like, that's nothing, right? I mean, it's so criminal. I mean, she's a war criminal. I mean, she is a war criminal. So all of her support for past wars. And she's literally laying a path to one of the most destructive wars that humanity would ever have seen.
They just decided to do it this time.
China said, you know, Nancy Pelosi, you're so special. It's just all about you. It doesn't have to do with you being the House Majority Speaker. It doesn't have anything to do with the fact that that Joe Biden's administration has said 3 times it's going to militarily intervene in Taiwan should we quote unquote invade and send all these millions upon millions, billions of weapons to Taiwan, reinforce Donald Trump's policy, militarize the South China Sea and the Asia Pacific even further, constantly talked about containing and isolating China, made a whole Indo-Pacific strategy about it, and then decided that it was okay for you when you said that you're gonna maybe, or maybe perhaps, I don't know, I could end up in Taiwan. Go there and then take a military aircraft there, be backed up by the USS Ronald Reagan and all sorts of other military hardware, just to go to Taiwan and talk to the authority there as if that they're some kind of independent country. It's no big deal. It's just all about you, Nancy. You are that special. It's all about you. I mean, this is how narcissistic anyone who can say this as a political figure whose actions impact global relationships, that impact the economic, political, and military situation in the world, to be able to say this, that it's just me, it's all me. It's unfair that China just always does what it does, escalate things, and is using me as an excuse. What an absolute pile of garbage. This is how absolutely trash bin US politics are right now. It's people like this who are adored by a large portion of the quote unquote electorate, really just those who are trapped in the two-party system. War criminals, corporate thieves, that's who govern the United States.